Are you looking for a job that can lead to a career opportunity? MCC and OPS have teamed up to provide education training and job opportunities.
Hello, Facebook family and friends. It's yours truly, Antonio Lipscomb. I am on the backdrop of this show, inviting Dr. Dorothy Heron to come on and be with us. I'm filling in for Tina Cosby on 1310, 92.7, and 1310 and 92.7. Trying to figure out how to do this on my phone. So bring my guests in on my phone. So y'all just bear with me. I see someone invited guests. So no. Okay. Well, we're trying here. Got a few more minutes and I'll be going right on live. 1310 92.7. Just trying to see how I can bring my guests on. I see Dr. Dorothy Heron is there. And I'm just trying to invite her onto the camera. I'll figure all this out in a second. We're going to figure all this out in a second. All righty. Okay, so normally I do this on my computer and it's a lot easier for me. So we'll just keep working as we go along. If you want to be a part of the show, if I can take this thing off, you can dial 317-239-1310. 317-239-1310. Got about 2 minutes and I'll be going on here. So just bear with us. Okay. Private chat. Trying to see how I can bring Dr. Dorothy Heron on here. I got it right on the backdrop here. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. See guest here. Dr. Dorothy Heron is there. Okay, so here she is. I'm just trying to. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it out, Dr. Heron. Dr. Heron, you may have to call in. I'm so sorry. You'll have to call in. I got about 1 minute. 239-1310 will be the number that you will be able to call in and stick with us as a guest. And then I'll work with Ethan to get you the number. But it's Community Connections. I'm standing in for Tina Cosby. Got about a minute before we'll get on here and get going. 30 seconds. About 30 seconds. All right. So again, 317-239-1310, standing in for Tina Cosby today. Feel free to call in Dr. Dorothy Heron and we'll just bring you on as one of our guests. 317-239-1310, and we'll go from there. So got about 30 seconds and we'll be going on the air. All right. What a wonderful, wonderful day. My name is Antonio Lipscomb. I will be your stand-in host on Community Connections. So grateful to have the opportunity. Hopefully, Tina Cosby is enjoying herself. As we all know, she's a person that we just love, honor, and respect. And we're so thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be able to host Community Connections. As you all know, I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm just in love with Community Connections. I think that it's just one of the wonderful outlets that Indianapolis has to be able to benefit from. We know that a lot of information goes on each week, and it's hard to decipher within this technology age what's true and what's not. But just to have the opportunity to come on and be a stand-in host, I'm just so delighted to have the opportunity. Of course, this show has such historic value. One of the main individuals I think about is the late Amos Brown, who's no longer with us. So, of course, we give condolences to that and in great memory of his legacy. And I appreciate him so much. But I tell you what, Tina Cosby has done a wonderful, wonderful job in stepping in those shoes. And so we're just so very grateful that we're able to have that as a reality. Now, I really did not want to do anything with the show that would be planned. Of course, I'm just more of a person that likes things to be done in a more organic way. However, we do have some thoughts, and I have Dr. Dorothy Heron, which is assistant pastor with Community Church, which we actually opened a community church right online, and we're going to be building and building and going from there, which I am the senior pastor of Community Church Indy, which you can find us online. She's going to be our guest on the show, as well as our director of apprenticeship and employment, which is Phyllis Tate, which is over Minority Contracts Collaboration. And we're going to be talking about some of the things that we're doing with that. And then, of course, we always take calls. So feel free to stay tuned in. The number that you would call would be 317-239-1310 would be the number that you would be able to call and get involved. I do believe I hear some background noise, so I'm hoping our guests have arrived. Dr. Dorothy Heron, are you there? All right, you're there, but we cannot hear you at all. Maybe we got some background noise that we need to make some adjustment with. But is Phyllis Tate, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, now that sounds better. Both you guys sound great. How are you doing this lovely, lovely, wonderful, supposed to be brisk day, but not really that cold outside? How are you guys doing today? Yes, and we're so thankful for you. I think our producer Ethan is asking that you kind of speak from off the mic a little bit. We got a little bit of background noise, and then of course, Phyllis, you doing all right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I mean, a lot of times people say that and they say, okay, well, really, how is that happening? And of course, with the COVID virus being what it is, of course, we got a lot of despair. I just got word right before we came on air how another my daughter's on the other side. She lost her grandmother, which was my mother, about a week ago, and then about a couple of weeks ago, and then she just reported to me today that she just lost her other grandmother on the other side. So we just want to continue to keep people in prayer. Sound like I hear Elijah in the background there. That's wonderful. He's also the director of education with Minority Contractors Collaboration. And so we're just excited. You're there too, Elijah? Oh, great, man. Just got a little background on you, man. I don't know where you guys are, but we got a lot of background noise going. But, man, I'm just so glad to have you guys come on the show and be with us. Uh, Listen, we're going to talk about some things in relations to the city of Indianapolis. And hopefully, we can talk about the city of Indianapolis, not in a way that would be offensive, but in a way that everyone would just have open dialogue. Sometimes it's hard to talk about things if we're not honest. And Elijah, we got some echoing on you, so and we can hear you on the air when you have those other comments. So we just want to be mindful of that. But getting back to this, what I'm saying, we really have to look at how we can have honest dialogue to move this Indianapolis forward. Indianapolis is the 12th largest city here in America. African American make up 23% of Marion County's population, and we have some real problems here. And I was talking on my show, Black Power Presents, that what we come on Sundays on this great station here from 1 to no, excuse me, from 6 to 7 each Sunday. I'm thinking about today, which is 1 o'clock. Yeah, but from 6 to 7, I was with Ethan even on last week, and we just had such a wonderful dialogue. And I'm going to continue that down that vein. One of the things I was talking about is the disparity and struggle with racism and discrimination. And of course, with that being the case, it seems as though when I begin to get feedback from people that are close to me, they say, well, you got to be careful. We're in a conservative state. You know, why should you, be careful about talking about racism and discrimination and so forth and so on. But I believe God brought me back to the city of Indianapolis to help make Indianapolis better, a better place to live. When I was younger, I could see all of the drugs coming into our community. Before those drugs, we had some level of family and camaraderie and brotherhood. But when those drugs hit, it just changed everything. And now we see the outcome of this, even with our youth struggling to have a opportunity to have a different style of life. So the homicides has been a huge problem here in Indianapolis. And I think we need to talk about it from a faith-based position. We need to talk about it from being able to educate and also empower individuals to have jobs, training, and et cetera, housing, et cetera, treatment, mental health opportunities. It needs to be talked about. And I know this is not the prettiest thing to talk about, um, yet it's necessary for us to talk about it. And I know Tina Cosby does a wonderful job bringing on a variety of different guests, different experts to kind of help in this situation. And the city is searching for answers. And I think that by us collaborating, getting involved, I reached out to one good friend of mine, Pastor Jerry Davis, which he's doing a wonderful job over there at Crossroads Church. He's doing an excellent job, and we have some synergy there, which we're going to be trying to deal with the outreach far as the reentry population. So I said a lot, guys. Let me start with Phyllis, and then we'll move to Elijah. Phyllis, tell me about your experience with Minority Contractors Collaboration. What do you think about that group?
we were able to provide that even through this COVID-19 situation is just fabulous, because we did not, we wanted to make sure that those that are still incarcerated still had hopes and dreams, and we showed up every day for them. We do have community students as well, and we don't treat anyone any different from whether they're incarcerated or if they're from the community, or if they're from one of the new Excel centers that we service here on the Springfield, Indiana. So when you ask me my feelings about minority collaboration, I definitely am blessed to be in this position. Um, I my focus is always on the students and the community. The fact that I do a lot of volunteer work in the New York West area. So to see this program grow as much as it has over the past few months is just phenomenal. And the potential to reach out to more people to get them trained with a skill trade that is marketable when they finish the program, not just that they have a piece of paper and we're nationally accredited through NCCER, but they have hands-on experience when they walk into that job market. And we also, my main position is to make sure that when they finish that program, the construction support program, is to make sure that they're prepared when I send them out for interviews. So as you can see, I've got, I can go on, but my love for this company and what we do, I just want to spread the word that we are here and we are open arms to changing lives.
Well, that's awesome. That is so awesome. As the listening audience probably would know, I am also the president of Minority Contractors Collaboration. And one of the things that we thought we would have to do with creating Minority Contractors Collaboration. Matter of fact, before I say what I say, I'm gonna invite Elijah on because he probably don't know that his conversations he's having is actually going on the air. Elijah, are you there? Is Elijah there? Okay, let's get Elijah on here. Okay, well, we got to put that on hold for a minute because we're on the radio live. We're on Community Connections right now, brother, and they're hearing the lives be changed, but I don't know how the feedback is getting. We want to be clear while we're on the line. Elijah, tell us a little about what you're doing for Minority Contractors Collaboration. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I would say that for the radio listening audience as well as the Facebook and YouTube watchers, we're sorry that you can't hear what's going on online for my YouTube family and my Facebook family, but we'll ask that you would tune into 1310 on your FM dial and 92.7 on your FM dial, and 1310 on your AM dial to hear what's going on over the radio, and you'll be able to hear the full broadcast. But these two individuals are very, very dear and special to me. They do an excellent job with a level of professionalism that they demonstrate day in and day out to help with students coming to us in a variety of different ways. We have helped high school students. with their high school equivalency to be able to get credit for their high school, as well as be able to graduate with a national certification through NCCER for construction trades. We've helped the reentry population, those that are behind jail bars and need some opportunities as far as education and training upon release. Of course, we help them get jobs or careers. It all depends on where they are in their development. But I would like to say most people, we try to stir them toward a career opportunity. We have a lot of different arrangements that we're making with some of our community partners where we're helping them get surrounded by supportive services to help with a variety of different areas, whether it be rent payments or car repair, tickets, et cetera, et cetera. And that happens through our community partners. Uh, we have a lot going on, and we're just so very thankful. Uh, look like we have, do we have a, a person online that's trying to call in? Uh, David, yeah, David is on the line. Hey, David, how's it going? Great, great. David is a guy that I have a lot of respect for. He's actually come on as a VP for Love Life Outreach Vocational Training, and what that means is we're taking on construction projects. David, you want to talk a little bit about that? Well, let me ask you this question, David. What type of projects are you looking to take on? Right. So you're actually filling out bids for work. Now, let me ask you this, because I do want you to answer the question. If somebody right now has a desire to want to get something done with their house, if they want to add a garage on or add a room on, or somebody bought a lot and they want to have a house built, um, do you think they should call you, and why? Hmm. Hmm. Well, you guys are great. I'm thankful for my guests here, and I want you guys to hold on because we're going to go into a break. You're listening to the Community Connections, or I'm your host standing in for Tina Cosby, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're on break right now. Um, we're so thankful for those who may be watching by the way of Facebook. See if I can get some chatting over here. See if anybody's chatting. I don't see anybody in the comment section. Uh, but if you want to be a part of this show, just simply call 317-239-1310. Right now, all the lines are full right now, right?
That's what I was about to tell you. Yeah. So we've got about a 3-minute break here. Is there? I don't know. Maybe when you come back on, you'll want to finish with one or two, so we can have some open lines. It's up to you, sir.
I'm thinking maybe I'm probably going to clear the line with David. I'm going to finish letting him talk because he's got a bid. He's got to do it too anyway. So I'll probably come back in and talk with him, and then I'll clear that line for us to have some open conversation for calls.
That sounds good.
Okay, thanks a million. So we got about a 3-minute break. Right now the lines are full. Let me see. But we're going to be freeing them up in a little bit. Uh, all right, so we're still live here. Okay. Let's see. All right.
Christmas Night of Lights at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Over 2 miles of an amazing drive-through Christmas light show. Synchronized music broadcasting through your car radio. Millions of LED lights dancing to both traditional and new rocking Christmas music. Christmas Nights of Lights is open nightly, including all holidays from dusk till 10 p.m. Visit weekdays to avoid longer wait times. Visit ChristmasNightsOfLights.com. Christmas Nights of Lights has been associated with extremely high levels of
Right. So it's a little different on my phone versus the computer. So I'm actually trying to learn as we go along. Let's see here.
About 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay.
important message for anyone who has taken HIV drugs, including Truvada, Viria, Atripla, Strippin, or Complera. Truvada was originally approved to treat HIV-1, but now it's also being used as a PrEP drug to prevent HIV infections. It's known to have serious side effects, including bone deterioration, bone fractures, liver problems, and even kidney failure. The makers of Truvada knew about the serious problems and almost immediately
One more minute.
One more minute, okay.
side effects. The problem is they didn't release the new and safer drug to the market until the patent ran out on Truvada. That means for over 10 years, Truvada profited billions of dollars while thousands of people became sick and suffered. If you took Truvada or other HIV drugs, call us today at 800-735-9616. Even if you haven't suffered the side effects, your call is important to us. Truvada's makers placed a pump it over patient faith, and it's time to help them out. Call 800-735-9616. That's 800-735-9616. Again, 800-735-9616.
Okay, 30 seconds, you'll be after this one.
30 seconds, okay.
Let's get back to the conversation. It's Community Connection, brought to you by Child Advocates. Your voice, your future. On AM 1310, 92.7, 95.1 FM, The Light.
All right, Community Connections. I am back hosting for a wonderful lady who we love so much, Tina Cosby. Hopefully, she is getting the proper rest that she would need. And I'm excited about the fact that we're just talking about some opportunities in the community that maybe some of us may not be aware of. We were talking about minority contractors collaboration before the break, which we have some wonderful guests with us. Dr. Dorothy Heron, which is assistant pastor of Community Church Indy. We have Phyllis Tate, which is working with minority contractors collaboration as a director of apprenticeship and employment. We have also Elijah Mills, which is the director of training and education with Minority Contractors Collaboration. And we also have David Barnes, which is my vice president, working with the construction company, Love Life Construction Company. And David, right before the break, because I know you got to get out and back in the field and start doing some bidding, but somebody may want to get some work done. And oftentimes the struggle we see is that a lot of different other groups are building and having success, but when you ride down the road, you don't see people that look like us. When you see some of the bigger projects, even downtown, we don't see people that look like us. And don't you think it's time for us to come together and try to see how we can hire people in our own community instead of going outside of our community? If so, what kind of projects are you looking to take on now as we transition into this new year?
Yeah, and I definitely agree. Looking forward, I would like to see a lot of the renovations, a lot of the rehab, got a lot of the housing that our community lives in that has been around since, the 50s, 60s. There's issues, underlying issues, flood abatement, all sorts of those things that could lead to sicknesses, could lead to illnesses. So as long as we can get into these homes, get them back into a good shape, we can reshape the whole outskirts, the whole look and the view of the community. So those are the projects that we would be attacking. As well as the commercial, the bigger projects, you're looking at hospitals, businesses, anything along those lines, or even new construction. This table is doing all of those things. But the main goal is taking the business community and giving it the faith and the respect that
Okay.
Do you have any if you want to get directly in touch with me? Office number here is 317-991-3150. My phone number is 317-519-4394, or you can shoot me an email, david@llobc.net. Again, david@llobc.net. And just discuss what projects you have in mind or what funds you have in mind. And see if we can get that done.
Now, what if we got smaller projects? I mean, they may not have such a big scope of work, but they want to get maybe a kitchen done or a bathroom or even if they may want some doors put up and have interior painted or the exterior painted. Will you do projects like that as well?
Yes, definitely. There's no project too small or too big.
Okay. All right. You want to get that contact information again before you get off the air?
So, like I said, office number here is 317-991-3150. My cell, 317-519-4394. My email, and probably best point of contact, is david@llobc.net. Again, david@llobc.net. I'm quick to respond. If you decide to contact me on, be ready for a response that day. I don't have to come take a look. I'm gonna come out and see what's going on within the next 3 to 4 hours.
Well, thank you so much, David. I'm so proud. I'm so very proud of you and the work that you have done in the past and what you're planning to do with this construction company. I think it's amazing. And feel free to keep in touch with us, man, and let's continue to rock this thing, man, because we know that you're a person of excellence and you take care of people. So thank you for coming on Community Connections.
I appreciate it. Thank you as well.
All right. So we're going to continue to have this dialogue. We just freed up. So now, actually, for those who may have tried to call in, we do have a line free for you. So you can call 317-239-1310. We're going to get back to some of the conversation we were having before because with Phyllis and also with Elijah, a lot of people don't know the level of scope of work we have been doing. We created another opportunity through several opportunities through minority contractors that we're going to be focusing on. And I'll reveal those. One of them is Next Level Academies. So if you want to look at looking up some things, just look up Next Level Academies, which we have had a lot of high schoolers come and get their high school diploma equivalency through us as far as that need for that box to be checked or high school individual who's looking to get their high school diploma and there's a certain area that they need to fulfill to be able to graduate. Phyllis, you want to talk a little bit about talk about that and well let Elijah talk about that because he's the director of education. What has been your experience with working with the Excel centers throughout the community? Right. See, a lot of times people don't know. You don't have a high school diploma. It limits you economically to be able to apply for certain jobs. So, therefore, there's barriers there with income. And a lot of times when people have low income, that could turn into some type of problem that the city will have to deal with because sometimes people turn to drugs, alcohol, crime, et cetera, et cetera. When you have education, it seems like that level of life begins to enhance and it just helps that person have a better lifestyle. And not only that, it affects the next generation because if your mom and dad graduated from high school, it's likely that that individual will graduate from high school. And if that individual goes into a trade opportunity, we're not college is not needed, but if some people are not going to college, so if they don't go to college, why not get some type of trade or related field? A lot of times people don't know even architect and so forth. There's also an avenue for people to come and get trained and support, whether it be construction cleanup, whether it be management opportunities, whether it be, of course, entrepreneurship opportunities. There's a variety of different ways people can benefit from the training. And so, of course, I mentioned Next Level Academies, but I also have to follow up with that the Indiana reentry population that we have been working with. Tell me about the experience you think we've been having training those that are incarcerated, Elijah.
That is a whole different business in that itself. Um, so we have to think that the walls of incarceration, um, just to show that no one is left out. Um, so these ones that I talk about the play ones that have no, sign of life, we make sure that we reach out to them and show them, not so we show them that your life doesn't even exist in the way your life is. And even if everybody else can't, there is no way that you can. Um, so we actually have a young class going on currently where people are literally learning this trade to so when they get out of the out of incarceration that they can go and have a job, have a career that's limitless. Um, and we like the answers to life in these people when they're incarcerated and this is all they can have to look forward to or in a week. That they can, take something so they can do for family, making an investment in their future while they're incarcerated.
Right, right. And a lot of times when you look at incarceration, of course, that means while the person's incarcerated, they get 3 meals in a cot. But once they are released, then where do they go? What do they do? Have they burnt bridges to where they can't come back and be a part of their family structure initially? How are they going to make it? That's the reason why we talk about transitional housing. We talk about our community partners to help with those supportive services to help meet those needs of those individuals that have been incarcerated and going to be released into the community. I'm so proud to say that we are working with community corrections as well, trying to make sure that we continue that relationship. Bob Opsley, which is the president of the city council, gave us that contact, and we're so thankful for Bob Opsley. I think he would be an outstanding mayor if he decided to run. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know what his aspirations are, but Bob is doing such a wonderful job. Bob Opsley is president of the city council, is doing a wonderful job. He's doing a lot of work behind the scenes that a lot of people may or may not know about. Phyllis, tell us what you think about some of those young ladies that are coming through the training and graduating. 'Cause a lot of times people think it's just for men. What do you think about that?
Oh, no, it's not just for men. It is the year of the woman. It's probably a decade of the woman right now.
All right.
We, some initially we were surprised, but as time went on, we had more and more women responded, and I would say the majority of them came on being contractors. And their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there tells you the opportunities that are in the field of the developing real estate, construction work. We've got several new developers in town, but having women on board actually allows the balance of their life construction. As we all know, women tend to be a little more detailed,
Mhm.
at least we like to think we are.
Mhm.
But the women that are in are so focused. They are usually the ones that go through the program so quickly because they have that such an urgency in taking care of family. And at the time of COVID, we found that in fact they're changing careers. They're changing careers into an industry that is growing so quickly now that they're going to be marketable. Their marketability will be outstanding when they finish the construction school program and decide if they decide to go to a specialization that makes them even more marketable. And we're talking about growing family wealth, and this is exactly how you do it. You take it upon yourself to control your environment, educate yourself, and then you can actually control the future of your family for generations. So,
Thank you so much.
in the industry,
Yes.
it's that.
Absolutely, absolutely, Phyllis. And I tell you what, they are graduating. Matter of fact, it seemed like the women are so much easier to work than men. I mean, I tell you, we're mentoring one of the young ladies who came through our program, who she has her own company and whatnot. We're actually mentoring her with her construction company. So, yes, this is definitely open for women. Now, I do want to transition into what you think the struggles uh, are with Indianapolis, because as I open up the show, I did talk about how Indianapolis needs to improve when it comes to relationships and how it treats people and treats organizations and so forth, and community connections. And I know throughout history, listening to this show, um, the leader, the host, a lot of times of the show would be an advocate for those who need help, whether it be individual help, whether it be connecting to a variety of different resources or people in charge and whatnot. And hopefully one day I'll grow to be that connection and also be as great as Tina, what she does as far as getting everybody connected. But would you talk a little bit about your experience? Because I think that one of the biggest pieces being pushed in Indianapolis is next level uh, and the governor and DWD and so forth. Can you talk to us about what you have kind of witnessed in relations to that process?
And thank you, Antonio, for directing the question to me, because it hits me extremely hard. I am not a native Hoosier. I am a transplant. I chose to come here without knowing the makeup of government or neighborhood or any type of relationship that happens with city to city.
Mm-hmm.
I did all across the United States, and I never run into something so systematically negative towards minorities. And the reason why that I can honestly say that because here I'm in the midst of it and dealing with different agencies that are state run, and I found that rules are quite different from others. And we are probably one of the smaller groups that has been an approved provider with next level jobs. And this is disheartening on one hand because the work is put in, the daily work, and the clients that we deal with. I call my students clients, and that's exactly what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with our clients is hurting their futures by the discrimination that we've received in the last 3 or 4 months. Um, and their voice is not being new rules being implemented at the drop of a hat. These are things that when you're in a professional environment, there are protocols to follow, and we follow them to the letter of their mission statement in their handbook book that we're supposed to follow as providers. So seeing this, that we are going to closes, or things are changing and it's not being relayed to some of the minority officers that are trying to help people, it saddens me. On the other hand, it invigorates me. It heightens my alertness to what is happening and having time to maneuver through this system and still my president, Antonio Lipscomb, being so passionate about what he knows. It is sad for us to see that day to day because we, even though we have not been paid what is due on our invoices, still come into this pool every day. We haven't stopped just because we're not being paid, because we have made a commitment to our students requiring that if you start this program, we're going to make sure you finish this program. And if you finish this program, we're going to make sure that you have employment assistance. So if we can get the agency to realize that we're dealing with real people, we've got overhead, we've got schools, we've got employees to pay, we've supplies to get, so forth and so on, and to have watched President Lipscomb go through this and still not miss a beat, that makes me more energetic to making our issues with the agency publicly known. The public needs to know that we are being treated differently from a white-owned company versus a black-owned company, versus us getting for local training that we provided for our clients and students, versus we could have, this President Lipscomb could have quit a long time ago, but we come in here day in, day out, weekends, whatever it takes. 1510
Wow.
Okay, well, today we have a guest host. He's not here. So today, Antonio Lipscomb, he's hosting today, and he's the honor to appraise a bunch of topics, and he has a lot of different businesses that are helping the community. There's an insurance, there's a content company, there is a construction company, he has some avenues of his own. He's also got a mentoring program, so he's kind of just sharing all that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I know when I've done that in the past, I've always got personal attacks. I've gotten this manipulative way of saying, oh, he didn't do this, his paperwork is this, his paperwork is that. One thing I've learned in Indianapolis, it's not hard for people to believe that an African American male has done something wrong. Um, that's easily believable. And oftentimes people will dismiss what I'm saying because when I'm being attacked, they just think that we're just so incompetent. People do think, oh, he's just so incompetent. He don't know it. But the truth be told, there are groups that have come and learned from us, and uh, different barriers were put up against us, and were not created for them, and they're actually flourishing off of what they learned from us. And they can, the state continues to look at ways of how they can build them up and work with them behind the scenes and actually try to get in areas where we're having success. They'll send them over there to try to, get whatever little success that we're having. To be told, I mean, Indianapolis is a huge area, and Indiana, for the most part, is a huge state. So there's so much out here that we need to do. Uh, there's enough for every training provider, and it saddens me to see the effort that the state goes with to try to stop our little organization from making a difference in people's lives. And hopefully, if the governor's listening, I would love for us to talk. I mean, the governor, this is the governor's platform, and I think he did a speech on how we can get racism and discrimination dealt with here in the city of Indianapolis. We have reached out, we haven't heard anything back. Uh, I'm believing that the governor has put some measures in place with bringing in a lady that was supposed to deal with this and whatnot. So we're just going to see how that goes. But the governor was right on when he started talking about the racism and the discrimination that's taking place here in the city of Indianapolis and how it's hurting Hoosiers to have a better life. So thank you so much, Phyllis, for echoing the truth. Elijah, what has been your experience with the invoices? Let's deal with that. We got about 3 minutes before we're going on break. About 2 minutes before we're going on break. But Elijah, what has been your experience with the invoicing? Well, thank you so much. Well, listen, you guys can stick with us. You're listening to Community Connections, and we're going to go right in break, and we're taking calls. If you want to be on the show, 317-239-1310. We'll be right back.
All right, we've got 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a breather.
Okay. Take a breather. How think things are going so far?
Things are going good. I mean, you've got you're giving people a ton of information. So to be honest, people are probably just learning about it.
Okay.
So that's my guess.
Okay. So anything you think we should
I don't think so. I mean,
Sure.
we'll just keep throwing out the number like you do. I think everything's okay. When people are getting information, I mean, you've got hundreds or thousands of people just learning about something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So you may not know what the response is because they just learned
Correct.
about it, right?
Yeah, people don't normally call in unless they have questions or I don't know. Um, it, it's hard to know. You know, it's kind of like you're going fishing and you're wondering what they might do. You know.
Well, what I think everybody can kind of talk about is the homicides, and that's what I'm going to start shifting our conversation about.
Yeah, people normally have some comments on that.
Yeah, it's a huge problem,
Yeah, it is.
and so we're going to be transitioning to that. I'm gonna get them off the line and start talking with Dr. Dorothy Heron about the situation.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So glad you guys are watching, Facebook family and friends, YouTube watchers. Um, we're working on getting a digital course so you guys can actually hear what's going on the radio. But meanwhile, feel free to call in 317-239-1910 if you want to be a part of the broadcast. You're more welcome to call in, and we can go from there. Like we got a comment on Facebook.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. All right.
It looks like one of your callers got off. We just have Dr. Dorothy and Elijah on.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, that might be them calling. Oh, there you are. No worries. Okay, perfect. I'll let him know you're on, okay? Wait, hold on. That's Phyllis. She's back.
Okay.
Go ahead. 1 more minute.
Okay.
But now we're inviting you inside the studios with exclusive one-on-one interviews with the biggest celebrities, important information, and the inspiration you
Alrighty. 30 seconds.
Okay.
exclusive interviews, get behind-the-scenes content, important creators social, and all and praise you on our YouTube page. Click the subscribe button today on your YouTube page and praise Indy.
Get ready to come back. 317-239-1310. All right, and we're back. Hopefully, no one's disappointed that I'm not Tina Cosby. Actually, I'm Antonio Lipscomb sitting in for such a wonderful woman. Hopefully, she's refreshing herself. I'll tell you what, she does a lot of fine broadcasting over this station each week, and we're just so grateful and thankful. When I told my staff, I said, listen, I am going to be sitting in for Tina Cosby with Community Connections. And I just wanted to shout out, Mama, I made it. I made it. Yeah, I feel so honored to have her allow us to come and sit in and talk. And we've had some great dialogue about a program, Minority Contractors Collaboration, Indiana Reentry, Next Level Academy, just doing phenomenal work throughout the community. And a lot of times we wonder how we can make Indianapolis a better city. Well, I think one of the ways we can do that is by not running off good people who are doing great work. And I'm so thankful for Phyllis and Elijah giving their heart telling what's actually happening behind the scenes and how we need to improve. Because here's the thing, if we do not allow people to participate in programs that can make a difference in their life, what else can they do? I know we can pray. I know we can speak in tongues and read the Bible, but at the end of the day, somebody need a job. I felt like somebody should say amen in the radio listen audience. In case you don't know it, I am a preacher and I will preach at any moment. But let me tell you this. I'm so thankful that Elijah and Phyllis have come on, and we just want to give you guys the last words because at the end of this changing over at the last hour, we're going to be talking to Dr. Dorothy Herring with Community Church Indy and also some of the struggles that we're having with the homicides in the community. If you like to call in, just call 312-339-1310. Go ahead, guys, with your last comments, and we'll go from there, starting with Phyllis.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me on to the show. We could actually bring some darkness to light. One of the things that always happens is we will not be torn down.
Mm-hmm.
We will not tolerate things that should not be so that we can progress in this area. And we will not until the fat lady sings. And I don't even think that she's on this continent right now. So
Right.
she's going to be around for a long time. We open our doors to everyone who has opened their policy. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this team and so grateful to helping others. It is the important thing for me that I've ever done. And I'm a woman of a certain age, so
Right.
I'm not a young person. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. We as a people, we can work together until everyone can achieve their goals. And that's what this all about.
Well, Phyllis, and thank you so much for being a part. Elijah, any final words?
I would like to take this time, all the radio listeners, to all everybody. I would like for this to be used as like a call to action.
Okay.
We know that these are issues. We are all facing our own separate ways. But this is the time that we can make this that's so needed. So we could yes, hear it, but we will all heard it our whole lives. It's time to act. We have to start making some provisions, doing some changes. Like President Wilson said, we've been talking to everybody we've been talking to. But we need more. We need everybody to get on board. We can change them all. We all yearn and try for.
Yes.
It's time. It's time.
Yes. Now, you said something very important, call to action. I mean, how can a person act? Do you think maybe they can get in touch with the governor's office, call the governor's office, call the mayor's office? I mean, do you think those maybe state reps and so forth? Shout out to state. Tell me her name, Elijah. I know you know. Say it again. Cherish Pryor. She's I had her face in my mind, but sometimes when you're doing this radio thing, you think of people's names. I can't. I struggle, but she's a wonderful woman. Cherish Pryor is doing a wonderful job, and we just want to salute her. She got involved, as well as thankful for John Bartlett, Representative John L. Bartlett. Shout out to the school. Give the name we're trying to work in. No, not the university, the school that we're trying to. Him by Her Academy. That's right. Him by Her Academy, Collegiate School of Arts. With Harry Dunn, we're trying to do an apprenticeship program inside that school. So shout out for Him by Her Academy and Harry Dunn and the work that he's doing as well. Well, thank you so much, guys, again for coming back on. My coffee has wore off, so therefore I'm going down. I need another cup, but we're going to continue. All right. So, guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for holding down the fort. All right. Now, look, we got Dr. Dorothy Herring. She's assistant pastor of Community Church Indy, which I actually am the senior pastor, and I thank God for Dr. Dorothy Herring. Me and her relationship has always been one, and she's been like a mother figure to me. I lost my mother about a month ago, month and a half ago, and Dr. Dorothy Herring has always been there to kind of stand in the gap and to kind of push me into my divine purpose. And so, Dr. Dorothy Herring, you still with us, right? And what did you think? I mean, because there's been a lot of said, and I transition this a conversation to about the discrimination, racism practice here in Indianapolis. And one of the biggest things that we want to try to tackle before we jump off the air is the problem with homicides. I mean, my God, we got to figure out something. And so I know you've been living in Indianapolis for quite a while, Pastor Aaron. So what is your thoughts when it comes to the way racism and the discrimination is affecting the poor and well as our urban community?
Well, I believe that the tiger found it. And I hear you.
Hmm.
We are all that we have. We got each other and we got to hug and hold on and hold. Like Sister Phyllis said, it is our turn. It's the year or the decade of the woman. And we have always been there. But it's now time to step up. And I'm so happy and I'm so comfortable knowing that we have some Antonio there with us to support and and listen. And we got the solution, Antonio. Your organization, John, all leaders out there, you all are coming together. Oh, black men.
Praise God.
That's going forward. And education is the key.
Hmm. Wow. Well, well, I don't know if I ever run for governor, but I tell you what, I would love to work with the governor that we have now. I'm hoping that he will hear our cry. Uh, yeah, because we're really doing a lot of great things in the city, and we're trying to do the umbrella of next level. Yeah. Well, and I understand that, and even if I may not be qualified for the governor's seat, if he doesn't work with us, we do need to figure out who will, and that goes from the governor on down to the mayor, et cetera, et cetera. We do have Shauna on the line. I think she wants to talk about next level jobs and racism issues in the city. Hello, welcome to Community Connections. Go ahead with your comment. Oh, that's my baby right there. That's my sweet thing. I feel my strength coming. Go ahead, Shauna Lipscomb. First lady.
Just speak a little bit about what I experienced working alongside you um, and what we had to do with working with Next Level Jobs and DWD. And just wanted to, just pat you on the back and say you're doing a great job and that you have, this past time, you have gone through the struggle and there's been so much get on here and just speak on how I also was right there with you guys and experienced that racism. It's just time that that there needs to be some justice equality when you're dealing with companies. And we just wanted to just speak and say that it's time. Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I just want to tell you, you did a great job. Keep, pushing, keep your eye and focus on, what you believe in. And just wanted to give you a pat on the back.
Well, thank you so much, dear. And I want to say this to you. My wife is a visionary. She works tireless hours to try to make a difference in people's lives. She's a business called the Tough Group, where she's actually trying to empower people financially and help them with their credit and help them get life insurance, health insurance, and whatnot. So she just makes my job a whole lot easier and complements what we're trying to get across so very well. And so we just look forward to working with Shauna and the Tough Group to make sure the word out. And I'm telling you, if you got bad credit, you need to call Shauna. She fixed mine for free, praise the Lord. But she will work and she's just a beast with it. She's not going to stop. My credit is starting to really get into the area that I'm really proud of, and we look to have a bigger house and so forth. And she's doing all that work, and she at a reasonable cost. So if you need your credit fixed, if you need life insurance, it surprises me how sometimes people just ignore the fact that they don't have life insurance, and then of course when an individual passed away, now everybody's scrambling trying to figure it out. So, Shauna, you want to give your website and also give your contact information for those who need some financial services and counseling in that area?
Sure. So the name of the company is United Financial Freedom Group. The acronym is TUF. We are helping people clear their credit. Also helping with life insurance and health insurance as well. You can reach me. That number is 817-775. You also get located right now.
Get, babe, yeah, but babe, give that number. Listen, I want before you get out there, I don't want you to rush out there. That's why I'm sorry for interrupting you. But give that number slower because some of us has got a little older and we can't write that fast. And I learned that from listening to Dr. Thomas Brown when he comes on Saturday. He said, give the numbers slow. So give your numbers slow so people can hear. Okay. Hello? Okay, give your numbers slower.
Okay, 317-751-7288.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you and have a blessed and wonderful, wonderful day. Love you, dear. All right. Well, we got Janet on the line. Want to speak about black males? Go right ahead with your comment or question. Great. How you doing, Janet? Jeanette, I'm sorry. I apologize. Good, sir. How are you, Jeff?
I'm going to rush through this story because it's kind of not a lot of parts to it. But it's a situation that happened in Kokomo, Indiana. My son is he's married to a Caucasian woman,
Mm-hmm.
and they have had issues over years. And when he lived here, he left the kids and him just stranded. And he's been raising the kids. He moved to Kokomo 4 years ago. They're raising kids. She happened to find out where they was at, set up a situation to get him a situation get the kids. Well, the problem is that when this happened, he was trying to do a program, trying to get the kids back and come out of the house. And she called the police, and the police beat it down and charged him, you know, um, and gave him a charge of entrapment. It's not entrapment, intimidation. Yes, intimidation. He has no record or anything, no more than child support that happened several years ago here in Indy. Situation now, the judge has given him a $10,000 bond with no, with no 10% of $10,000. He hired an attorney to try to get him to reduce the bond, and the judge couldn't reduce it, and the attorney has applied because this is talking about pay, this is talking about one thing, and has a history of, of incarcerating people like persuasion. And so this whole situation is something that she set up and instigated for some time. And so now we got a situation where we're not only fighting the unjust situation, but also the judge in this, unfair practices because the public defender knows the judge who said that she made a comment that he just don't like these type of people up to that effect. And so we were trying to see if we could get some assistance trying to help my son. My son is not a criminal. He's been treated like one. They have they didn't feed him for over several weeks, and they put him in a isolation area. He's got his friends told him he's been beaten up, his ribs broken, and it's just it's just, and basically one of the reasons things has been difficult is the rumor has been shared that he has, which is false, and he's in for beating up his wife, and
Mhm.
so he's and that's not true. He didn't beat her up, he didn't hit her or anything, but that's kind of, and I'm assuming that's why they're hard on him, difficult with him. And so we just been trying to. I called the local chapter of the NAACP. Haven't heard back from them yet, but we're trying to see where we can find assistance.
Right, right. Well, let me say this to that. Um, I think the NAACP is a great start. I'm actually a board member here locally with the NAACP. And so I will go on their website and everything that you just mentioned to me. I think you should put that on their local chapter website and do a full complaint with that, and also request some legal support. Now, on my end, with Indiana Reentry, we look to fight and advocate for cases like this. Uh, what I would suggest for you to do is to email me, Antonio, Antonio, at Indiana Read, it's just RE, then kind of like minus sign in between, entry.org. Email me that information so we can work alongside you, see what we can do to help in that situation. Um, when you email me, please make sure you include the attorney's information because that is the one person that I would need to collaborate with to see what we can do to help in this regard. So you got the information, and my heart goes out to you guys. I can hear the passion in your heart, but please know and understand that this is a common practice here in Indiana for cases like this and for black males to go through this level of suffering and pain. And I tell you, the only way we're going to be able to correct situations like this is not waiting for what happens directly to someone we care about, but also looking to see how we can prevent others from experiencing the same thing. So you have my information. Let's talk. I'll do what I can on my part as the NAACP board member. I'm also part of AACI. here in Indianapolis, which I recommend you guys to start following what's happening through the Urban League, which is a great organization as well. So, yeah, best thing we can do is get involved and start fighting, and we'll do exactly what we can to do our job and support you in that fight.
We appreciate it. Now, can I hang up and then call back and the young man, because I'm driving, so I can't write your email down. So can I call back and get the information?
Of course, we got one of the best producers in house. Ethan is one of the best in the city, so he'll definitely take care of you on that.
I appreciate it very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And so, family, we're talking about what's happening here in Indianapolis, and I believe our governor cares. I'm going to continue to reach out to him because I think he's putting some things in place, Dr. Herring, so that we can look and see how we have a better state. And so I just definitely want to reach back out to him and see how we could possibly talk and look at these areas of how we can improve our state. One of the areas that I am really concerned with, and I'm not familiar with the governor as much as I'm familiar with our mayor, and I am very, very concerned about the city of Indianapolis and our mayor. I'm very concerned about that. I mentioned that on my show, Black Power Presents, that comes on 6 to 7 on Sundays. I'm concerned with his leadership because you look at the roads, they've been fixed. I know they were calling our dear mayor Pothole Joe for a while, and now we see the potholes are primarily, in decent shape. Of course, Indigo was a criticism there, but we don't really know how that's going to go. That's still in the works. But this bigger jail is another area that there was very passionate about, the Criminal Justice Center, which has a component of locking up mental health people as well, and or get them treatment or whatever. I'd rather see a mental health facility separate from the jail. But we have a problem with homicides. I mean, if we are looking to go into the new year screaming out how we can make things better for every Hoosier, one of the things I've seen to the top of my lungs is this idea of reducing homicides. I see you, Pastor Jackson. I'm gonna get to you in a second, but I want to encourage everybody who's listening by the sound of my voice. We need to hold our elected officials accountable. We need to hold the chief of police accountable uh, about these homicides. I mean, somebody said, Antonio, when you speak like this, you're speaking in a conservative state, and you have to be careful. But God has not given me the spirit of fear. I'm not going to live my life in fear, and I don't think you should live your life in fear. Speak your truth. If you know something is true, speak it. Let's deal with it so that we can make Indianapolis a place to live for all Hoosiers. And I want to challenge right now on this station, I want to challenge our mayor. If our mayor right now would allow me and others to get involved to deal with this homicide, I guarantee you the numbers would come down. But there are certain people that they don't like, that they don't let in. And because of that being the case, we don't have an opportunity to get the necessary resources and services to people who would be suspect. I would like to come alongside the police department. I would like to come alongside our mayor's office, public safety, and that committee, and see what we can do to make things better. It looks like I got about 3 minutes before I go on to break. So, Pastor Jackson, hey, Robert, I'm assuming it's Pastor Robert Jackson, my good friend. Is this my good friend, Pastor Robert Jackson? That is my good friend, Pastor Robert Jackson. How you doing, Pastor? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
man, and one thing that people have is that they don't like to see
Yeah.
colors written away.
Yeah, Pastor Jackson, you know what? You witness it on a daily basis. Well, a couple days, about 3 days a week, you come by and do your fine job of security for us. And so, man, I want to thank you uh, for your heart. I know you are working with the youth in the city, doing an excellent job, volunteering, man, and of course, you know, you work in the military as an officer and whatnot, and very proud of you. Uh-huh.
That's just the way it worked out, and I thank the Lord for letting me do that. So, and as you know, I always let my security company will be going in effect in January.
Well, congratulations, Pastor.
I got that I get to use learn this training, set up your own business. That's the American dream.
Well, God bless you, Pastor, and I thank you so much for your call. I know that if I'm somewhere, you're gonna find me and you're gonna get involved, and it makes my heart glad. So give my best to you and Mom, and have a happy day. We're gonna go ahead and go on to break. Caller, please don't go nowhere. You're listening to Community Connections, and we'll be right back. So still on Facebook, still doing it, boy. The 2 hours was is something, boy. We getting it in. We're getting it in, and I'm enjoying myself here in this studio. So proud to be on Community Connections, and you guys want to have some comments, call in 317-239-1310. We're just enjoying ourselves on Facebook. And I tell you what, and YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. I'm going to get one of those where you guys can actually hear the callers as well. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, so tell you what, I could use that cup of coffee right about now. See, I wonder who's anybody watching on Facebook, YouTube. I can't see anything on this phone, but we'll keep it moving. I don't see anywhere where the chats. Uh, see anybody? Huh?
Sorry to interrupt. We've
Yes,
got
sir.
about 3 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and Jeanette called back. What number were you going to give her, or was it an email? She was the one who had the case with yeah.
Yeah. I just give her my direct cell.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. Thank you. But just answer the call after we get off the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 2 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Oh, if we could just unite and come together and work together. And I tell you, if we could just get on board, put aside any differences, you know, we don't have to like each other. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. But if we could just work together, man, what a beautiful world we would have if we could just work together. So, got about 3 more minutes. We'll be going back on live. Yes. All right. You guys want to call in 317-239-1310. You can be a part of the show. Can't really follow the chat section here, but you guys are welcome to come on in. Okay. What's her name? What's this person's name? Ellis?
What did you say?
How do you pronounce his name?
Elsie.
Elsie. I just didn't want to
Yeah,
mess it up.
it's a woman.
I'll throw her name up. Okay, Elsie. Thanks. I'll tear up a name in a heartbeat. Probably got about 2 more minutes.
Okay, well, you've got about 30, and that's a guy on the line.
Guy on the line? Okay.
And then you can end anytime between like 2:50 or probably the latest is 2:56.
Got it.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, about 30.
All right, we're back, and I am still excited in the studio filling in for my good friend Tina Cosgrove. I call her my friend. I feel so accomplished to be able to stand in her place and host this community connection broadcast. And I tell you, we have some callers on the line. We're talking about we kind of shifted conversation. I have Pastor Dr. Dorothy Herron, which is assistant pastor of Community Church Indy, as well as myself. We're going to be talking about the homicides. We talked about the programs that we have in the community and how we're helping, but now we still want to talk about the problem on the later end of the show. And look like I have Elsie. Thank you so much. You just told me that, and I just messed it up. Sorry, Elsie. Go right ahead.
Okay, I just want to let you know and encourage you to keep doing what you're doing.
Hard.
Really enjoy your program. I listen to you on Sundays, but it's a little bit hard for me to get you. It's not really clear.
Oh,
I listen to you on Sundays, but I appreciate your tenacity. And you know what? I am a prayer warrior.
thank you.
I'm with prayer team, international prayer team,
Oh, wow.
and we pray.
My
I
God.
believe in prayer.
Yes.
I believe God. Every prayer.
Praise God.
I believe that we need to meet because I believe, you just made me, I've been laying back.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I've seen years ago there were a group of people who came together in a city. I can't remember. I think it was in Virginia. I'm not sure if it was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They came together and they started praying.
Mm-hmm.
The people came in and told them their guns and everything.
My Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is necessary. I need people like you. I really do. To pray for us.
She's been asking me,
Mm-hmm.
we need to go out and mother,
Mm-hmm.
crying out for the
Yes.
I said, this is a spiritual warfare.
Mm-hmm.
This is not flesh and blood.
That's right.
And we need spiritual people that really want to stand up for God and power. That's them.
That's right. And I want to tell you, thank you so much for your prayers and also listening to us. And this is what I want to do because we know faith without works is what? And we don't want to be dead, folks. God called us to have life and have that abundantly, didn't He? And so, therefore, we have a right to get to the mayor's office. We have a right to send in our complaints, governor. Because listen, I've been in the church since I'm 19. I preached 20. Lord wants us to get involved. We have to get outside of those four walls. And when we have an opportunity and a chance to make a difference, we should do that type of stuff right away. There's no excuse. That's right. There's no excuse for a believer not to be involved in this day and time. Don't you agree with that? Yeah, you. And so do me a favor now. We're fighting for our young men. We're gonna do more than pray. We're gonna get involved. We're gonna call that mayor's action office, tell them that Antonio Lipscomb, who's working with Minority Contractors Collaboration, Indiana Reentry, and by gosh, you want them to get involved because you're talking to God about it. Would you do that for me? Mayor's action office. I'm quite sure our producer Ethan will. Yeah, he'll get it from you. Well, you have a blessed day. Okay. Uh, and yes, ma'am. You can simply talk to the producer. He'll give you my direct information, and I tell you what, I'm the one who will respond back. Don't you worry about not getting. I will call you right back. But if you want the mayor's actions number, I got it. 317 327 4622. I want everybody to call the mayor. Tell the mayor we tired of these homicides and we want the mayor to work with action groups. If you got the action number, we the action group. Let him talk to me. The mayor won't talk to me. Can you believe that? I'm reaching out to these black young men, trying to get them training and whatnot. Our mayor won't talk to me. Can you believe that? You call him and tell him that he needs to work with faith-based, believing preachers who are trying to reach our young men, get the guns out their hand, and get a hammer in their hand so they can go to work and take care of these babies. Can I, man? I got Minority Contractors Collaboration, which I'm the president of. Also have Indiana Reentry for getting out of jails and prisons. Matter of fact, we taught a virtual class, the first of its kind in the country. We're so thankful for our sheriff, Kerry Forstoff. He's a great sheriff. It's time to do what you got to do. Look out for him. I can't say vote for him, but you know what I mean. But he's doing an excellent job. They're trying to get programs in the jail when police. Shout out to Scott Holt. He's a new community corrections guy. He's trying to do a great job. And shout out to Bob Opsley. In my opinion, he should be mayor. I don't know if he ever would run, but I sure would back him up if he ever decided to do that. Well, you have a wonderful day. I got to get to my next caller, okay? God bless you. Guy, and we have Guy on the phone, homicides and violence in the city. Go right ahead. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Would you do me a favor and kind of get my information from Ian, our producer, for today, and email it to me? I would love to check that out. Now, one of the things I know for a fact that if you provide educational programs and training programs along with job programs, that's a 20% decrease in violence right off the top. So we definitely got to look at, I'm looking at the violence reduction team. They're going around giving money to these non-for-profits and still nothing's happening. We got to relook that. I think Shauna Major's been set up for failure, and she's just a wonderful woman. She doesn't deserve to be set up for failure, and our city needs to do a better job in investing, helping training programs and job opportunities and career opportunities. Thank you for your call. Mhm. All right, look like we got Dan on the line. Go ahead with your comment. Good, sir. How are you? Okay. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you asked that question, sir. I can only really look at the link of my own personal experience. My late mother, God rest her soul, had 4 kids at the age of 19. They, out of nowhere, drugs was dumped in the community, went from cocaine to crack. Used to be a time when uncle could come over and discipline us because dad was not there for whatever reason. And I shout out to my surrogate dad. He's just a good man, but at the time they just wasn't ready. So young at that time. But at the end of the day, uh, I was set in a system of oppression. I see it very clearly because of my upbringing and where I'm at in the zip code that I lived in. It was automatically declared that I would be in prison and on my way. I was at 12 years old. I was in the real jail. I was on my way to prison. And the system was set up from an educational position, violence, nothing, go to school, nothing but violence, home violence, every community violence. All I've seen was violence. But what changed my life, first of all, is calling on God and asking Him to direct my life. Even while I was practicing some of the things I was doing in the community, I still was praying and I got led to a trade program. And now, me personally, I don't think I'm a trades person. I have plumbing under my belt, but I use plumbing as a means to take care of my family and feed my family. So what I'm saying to you honestly, sir, is that there is a system of oppression set up. It may not be as clear as most people may see it, but I'm telling you, it is very clear to me to see that there is a system of oppression set up to help individuals who are disfranchised to go into the criminal justice system. And if you don't believe it, just look at statistics on how law is being practiced on some versus others. But I thank you for your call, okay? All right. So we have Dr. Dorothy Heron. She's back with us. I'm so glad that she was able because we're going to give her some of the final comments before we get about 3 minutes before we're going to get off the air. Go ahead, Mr. Mayhem.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, I can go through your some of your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not for every black person in the city, and every situation is different. Uh, you can tell the community is weak when our black men or white
All right. Thanks again, Mr. Mayhem, for your call. Now, one thing I do want to make very clear. We're not begging anybody. I don't think I said please, please, please yet. But if that would save some lives, I would. I would definitely say please, please, please 10 times over to a white man or whatever you're trying to label all of that. But the reality is this. We pay taxes. We are tax-paying citizens. And with that money, we want the money to come back to our community so that we can do development, we can do housing, so we can help people have education and training and jobs. So that's not a big, that's an investment through our taxpayers as being a taxpayer. That's something that we should have access to. That's not being given back to our community, and whether the person be white, black, Hispanic, if they have a position of authority in politics and they are representing us as a community leader, we have a responsibility to talk to them and ask them to help do what is the right thing to do. And so, of course, we have a responsibility, and I'm telling you what that responsibility is. That responsibility is to hold our elected officials accountable because money is the answer to all things. The love of money is the root of all evil, but it also is the answer to all things, and we need to really get that back into our community. I've got about 2 minutes before I get off the air. Dave, go ahead and give us about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to ask Pastor Dorothy Heron to have the last comments. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. My Lord. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Bless you, sir, for your comments. We appreciate that. We got Dr. Dorothy Heron. Look like we got about 30 seconds, Dr. Dorothy Heron. Do you have some final comments? About 30 seconds, and we'll be off the air. Yes, ma'am. Bless you, Mother. We thank you so much for those wise words and comments. But listen, our time is out. We have had a wonderful, wonderful discussion, and we will continue discussion Sunday 6 to 7. Feel free to call in or visit us on our station on this wonderful broadcast. And thank you so much, Tina, again, for allowing us to host this wonderful show, Community Connection. And I know she'll be back. We'll be back. And you all have a wonderful holiday New Year's season. God bless. Love you too now. All right, family. This is the end of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful, peaceful day. Peace.